Welcome guys to Toon and Lee's farm, and today I'm going to show you our brand new chicken coop made totally out of recycled bits. Man, is it hot in Thailand at the moment. It just feels like it's about 45 degrees every day. In fairness, we're touching about 38, 39 most days, but it's so humid. I mean, it's just off the scale. Toon and I have never known anything like this weather in the 8 years that we've been here full time on the farm. Right, as promised, here's our chicken cube in all its glory that's also integrated with our vermiculture. Here's the girls. That dark one on the left, she's called Bitty too. We had a Bitty before, many years ago when we had chickens and ducks. And she's Kingpin. She's the matriarch of the flock, all 6 of them. So yeah, Bitty 2 is her name, and she's a good layer. Right folks, my head is absolutely leaking and the camera will not like this heat, so I'm going to get in the shade. Oh, that's better. And we've had some storm damage. Toon's dad's JD, where his ashes are. There was a dead branch falling off that tree there. That's knocked the top off. So there's a job for the son-in-law. Fix the old JD for Dad. Right then, isn't she a beauty? Toon and I can't take all the accolades for this beautiful creation. The 2 boys have put it all together and they've done a marvellous job. We've done a few extra bits and bobs. I know that some of you have watched us for quite a few years will remember, because your memory is better than mine, that we have had chickens in the past and we gave up. Here's my excuses. Let me get in here first. I've got to shut the door, otherwise Bitty 2 will get out. She likes going for a wander. Look at this lock. Isn't it fantastic? I can lock myself in and out. The only problem is the missus can lock me in here. Here we go. It's good, isn't it, girls, eh? Although it's nicely out the shade in here, there's limited airflow, so like a lot of our enclosures on the farm here in Thailand, you do get quite sweaty. So the reason we gave up with chickens before is mainly because we had Gai Ban chickens, which are the native Thai chickens, and there's not an awful lot of meat on them. We do prefer the taste of those chickens, but we want chickens for laying eggs. That's all we want now. We're not really bothered about having chickens for meat. We will, however, eat these old girls if and when the time comes. So Ethel, you better keep on laying, girl. That's right. They've only just started laying, so we've got 6 girls. We bought them as pullets ready to lay, and we're currently getting 3 eggs a day. Hopefully they'll do us proud and give us 4. But previously, when we were keeping those native chickens, we also had a first attempt at having our worm tank underneath their roost at night. So all the droppings would fall into the worm tank, and we'd create a vermicompost for the gardens. I did, however, make a schoolboy error and forget to put the roost back down after collecting the worm castings one time, and all the chickens got there and ate all the worms. So I binned it off after that. I didn't buy any more worms, and but it's something that I've always wanted to redo. So where we've built this, there was nothing here before, so I thought, Lee, this is the perfect opportunity to combine the 2 again and do it properly. In here we've got 5 concrete tanks for the worms. Currently, oh, look at this. 4 eggs. Not really, only 2. He's Toon's copy. She didn't tell me she'd done this the first day. Came in here, I was like, funny looking eggs. Toon's so sneaky, she thought it was hilarious. Yeah, going back to the tank, so we bought 5 of these. They have got a concrete bottom in there. They have got drain holes. Now in Thailand, the most common way that I've seen on the internet how people do vermicompost is they put a load of cow manure in there, and you normally buy that by the sackful, all dried. You fill it full with that, and then fill it right up to the top with water, leave it to soak for like 24-36 hours. Open your drain pipe, drain all the water off, mush all the poo together into sort of like a slurry. We've got over 40 goats, so I'm not going to go out and buy a load of cow poo when we've got a never-ending resource of poo already on the farm. So in here we've got loads of worm castings. In the previous worm video, where we first got our worms and put them in plastic tanks, I'd made the goat manure into a powder form, and it went a little bit anaerobic. There were not enough air pockets in there. So what I've done is, out there is a pre-compost pile. At the moment, the buckling's enclosure, so the boy coats fatten up to sell to the meat industry. We haven't got any bucklings in here. So when they're there, all the cleanings out of their room go in here, and all the spent fodder goes in here, and it just gets thrown on here. Obviously, it's not hot compost, but it does get quite warm when we put the green fodder on top of it. But you can see it's pretty much all different sizes, and the worms absolutely love it. Look at my noggin, I'm melting. So I quickly knocked this together, thinking they'll use that as a roost and they'll poo straight in. Bit of a fail, although a few of them have sat on here at night and pooped in there, or during the day rather. If some do sit on the top there, 50% chance they poop over the other way, which is a bit of an issue. The other issue is, didn't anticipate this one, but I need to sort this out. You see this bit here? They jump up here and lean against that. I mean, if I was a chicken, I'd probably do the same. There's a little bit of poop there. So 5 of them normally sit there, and Bitty 2 sits there. So what I've got to do is somehow blank this area off so that they can't jump up there and sit on there. And I want to tweak this so that they have to roost straight over the top of the tanks. So most of the food for the worms is the goat poo and the spent fodder from the goats, and then it's topped up by the chicken poo. It's definitely working, because where the chicken poo has collected, when you scrape that out of the way, you see most of the worms there. The girls love this. When we first set it up, we just had a bowl in here with water, and they'd get in there and dirty it up quite quickly. So as they drink this down, the water level drops, these raise up, and more water comes out. If you see there now, the water coming out. All right, girls, settle down. All excited, anything moving. So there, we only have to top this up, I don't know, once every 5 or 6 days. We've just got vitamin and mineral additive, water soluble additive. It's the same one that we use for the goats. So they're getting lots of essential bits and bobs that they need in their diet. And you can see on the bottom here on the floor, this is about, hang on a minute, about 35 wheelbarrows of biochar. But over the last, I don't know how long we've had them now, about a month and a half, just me walking around doing a circuit 2 or 3 times a day, it crushes it all down, it goes into a powder. So it's gone from like that down to like that. The chickens love it, they scrat around in there, and if I can just find where they've been doing it, it's normally this side. They like to scratch out and have a little dust bath, so you'll see it's all fine there. So they like getting that in between all their feathers. So that's their daily ablutions. So that's why our chickens are quite dark. They're all powdered up with biochar. The good thing about it, it keeps the odour down. It does still a little bit pen and ink in here. I mean, that's chickens for you. But at the end of the day, it's a lot better. You don't get that ammonia build-up like we used to have back in the UK when we had quite a few chickens. The idea is not to be cleaning this out every month or 2. Hopefully, fingers crossed, about once a year, just shovel it all out. Now I do throw food onto the floor, you'll see some here. All this in here started life as that stuff out there. Every day I just pick a few handfuls of that and throw it in here. Once they've scrattered around and eaten what they want of it, because they don't eat all of it, I then throw the remainder into the tanks. So we've got 2 tanks on the go at the moment. This is sort of like the Mark 1. Look at this. So the idea was to have everything still in place, but I can just lift this up and get to the worms. Let's see if we can get that nice and close. Hopefully you'll see how fine the worm castings are. All I want to do is up the amount of worms that we're producing. We want a big herd of worms, and then gradually populate each tank down there. One of the tanks at the moment is used for their nesting, for them to lay their eggs. That's where Toon's got her plastic eggs. This is currently populated with about 500 worms. So that's the next one. I'm going to do the Mark II for this. Then going to be doing that. And then hopefully the idea is when I get to here, we need to put worms in this one, is to transfer, this grass is what they use to make the grass roofs out here in Thailand. I'll do the same in there, transfer Toon's plastic eggs into here, get them to lay their eggs in there, and then that old grass can become the bedding for the new worm tank. If you're into your worms, folks, you know that you need more bedding than actual food for worms. And then every now and again, I just get the watering can. There's a water, and then all I do, hang on, someone's nibbling my toe. It's you, Ethel, isn't it? Oh no, it's not Ethel. You're more ginger, ain't you? You ain't even got a name, have you? Pecky. Sorry, Ethel. So every 3 or 4 days, depending on what time of year it is out here. The humidity is really high at the moment, like I said, so I'm not having to do it quite so often. I just get the watering can from here. That tank is filled up from rainwater that comes off the roof there. Because all this roofing is old roofing sheets, we do get a little bit of rain coming in here, but it's not enough to get them waterlogged. But we haven't had any issues to date. And if we do in the future, I'll just open a valve and let any excess water out. So no problem. All the support structure, this metal work here, this was left over and recycled bits and bobs from previous projects here on the farm. I say these are our old roofing sheets as well. You see all the old wire fencing as well. They're all offcuts, surplus bits and bobs from previous projects. What we have bought though are these little great things. So these run to a little solar panel on top of the roof. I think they're only about, I think Toon picked them up for about 150 baht on Lazada. We've got an orange one as well. So the idea of putting it down here, this deters the mosquitoes. They do work very, very well. We've got one in the buckling enclosure as well. So the idea was to gradually get more and more of these as we get more and more worm tanks on the go. Whether we'll get more chickens in the future, we'll have to wait and see. We just wanted to make sure that we could handle what we've got. And also, egg-laying chickens in Thailand aren't particularly cheap. We paid 250 baht, sorry, per chicken, and we had to pay a little bit for delivery as well. I think we got free delivery if we ordered 10. But yeah, needs must, so we got the 6. We're getting the 3 eggs a day. Hopefully, if we can get up to 5, that would be great. Toon and I absolutely eat loads of eggs, and the more we can get, the better. We'll never have a surplus of eggs having 6 chickens. I could do 6 eggs a day, no problem. I think these are just hybrid chickens. I don't know if they've got a little bit of Rhode Island red in them or not. I'm not sure. We've got a little tray here just for their pellet. We probably will knock up a dispenser for this as well. Ideally, I'd like to do one in the same sort of style as the water dispenser, so I could just got to sort of like fill up, say, once every 5 or 6 days, and then they can just take what they want all day long. At the moment, we're only really feeding them enough, so by the end of the day, this is just about empty. So, you know, really it's a farm, guys, so you do get rats and mice around and other little critters, so we don't want loads of excess food everywhere. Little mice aren't a problem. The chickens have them, and they have lizards as well, and little centipedes and little scorpions. They eat all that sort of thing. Initially, they wouldn't even touch any greenery that I put in here. They'd obviously been raised up on broken rice or something like that, so they weren't even sure about the proper chicken feed. Long-term plan is to up our Azola production. At the moment, we're using every single ounce of production to populate our crayfish tanks, but in an ideal world, we can quadruple production, and then we can start feeding them that as well. Anything to keep the feed costs down. I think if you're feeding them by pellet, it costs you about 2 baht per egg. I'm trying to think how much an egg is now. It's at least 5 baht each. So yeah, you're saving 3 baht. 3 baht an egg, but don't forget your chickens are 250 baht each. So it's not cheap, but at least you know where your eggs come from, don't you? Which is, well, it's a big thing for me and Toon. That tweaks that I want to make is, you'll see here, Toon and I have put a little bit of extra metal work up here and some mesh along here. We're just paranoid about crows. We used to have a lot of problem with crows, snakes and water monitor lizards in the past when we used to keep a lot of chickens and a lot of ducks. So we're just trying to deter them from the start. Of course, you're still going to have issues with snakes. I mean, the size of these holes, you know, certain snakes are going to get through. And eventually a python will turn up. So that'll make another good python video. That'll be our 3rd one. Not bad out of 8 years, is it? But yeah, it comes with the territory, doesn't it? There's nothing you can do about it. They can smell the chickens, or they can smell the chicken poop, and they will find them eventually. So anytime there's a kerfuffle, we're out here straight away, but it's normally a pigeon getting through here. You'll see some ventilation holes, so we've got some storage units in here. Well, that's a storage unit. That's the covered area which we used to keep our shredder, and then down there is the back of the solar room, so the pigeons get through here. Also that gap through the top where all the insulation has come away from the underside of the roof. So yeah, I've got that to fix, a little bit more beefy mesh to go across here, and I'd like to fill this gap up here, and it'll be all done and dusted. But it's working. The chickens are happy, they're laying, they're healthy. The worms are the same, but they're not. Oh, they do lay eggs, don't they? So probably in the next video I'll get my hands in the chicken poo, and we'll see how the worms are getting on, and we'll probably do a prep of another tank as well and start transferring some across. I know some of you guys are thinking about getting into a bit of vermiculture stroke vermicompost. Just as a bit of background information, we have AF worms. Well, that's what they call them in Thailand. AF is African Nightcrawler worms. There are other species of worms available out here, I think blue tiger, that sort of thing. But your AF worms will tolerate the higher temperatures. So I would go for those with the temperate climate out here. If it does get too hot in here, all we'll do is bring one of the fans from the house out, and through there, that's the back of the solar room. We can plug it straight into a socket there, bring the cable through, and we can even set a fan up for them. Before I forget, let myself out. Very, very happy. It's nice when a plan comes together. Not interested in selling eggs. We're going to keep it small scale. Just getting these little bad boys for our diet. That's all we're interested in. Anything else is a bonus. If we have a few spare, then we can give them to Toon's mum and little niece Kai Muk, or even give them to the dogs. I don't think so, G-Jar. You would have it though if I let you, wouldn't you? Yeah. Super quick heads up, quite a few of you watch our crayfish videos. In fact, a lot of you have found us through searching for information about crayfish. We have started or restarted uploading more content into our new crayfish or dedicated crayfish YouTube channel called T&L Crayfish. There's a link in the description below. They're less funny jokey, less swearing, as in none, informative videos on how to raise crayfish. Hope to see you there.